Hey, what's up folks? Jambook Reviews here with another comics related video. But not a review this time. Today I'll be talking about a lesser known part of comics history related to the origin of the Milestone universe, or the Dakotaverse. So as some of you may know, Milestone Media was founded in 1993 by Dennis Cowan, Michael Davis, Derek Dingle, and Dwayne McDuffie, with input from Christopher Priest. Their aim was to offer comics readers more diverse characters and stories than what was being put out by the mainstream publishers, the stories that they would have wanted to read when they were growing up. The comics division of Milestone only lasted for 4 years, but during that time the company put out some of the most thought-provoking and uniquely illustrated stories of the 90s, launched many careers, and left an indelible mark on the American comic book industry, as Milestone proved that there was indeed a market for black characters. The critically acclaimed animated series Static Shock and a dedicated fanbase have ensured that Milestone in its long absence was never left out of the mainstream comics discourse. The untimely passing of several creators who were involved with the original comics and various legal disputes almost stifled the dream of the company ever returning. But in 2021 the unexpected happened. Milestone relaunched, rebooting their Dakotaverse and publishing 3 new ongoing series. February 2022 saw the publication of this massive 1,300-page compendium collecting the early issues of the original Milestone comics, with the possibility of more classic and new stuff being released in the future if they sell well. So if you're a longtime fan or a new reader, now is the best time to collect Milestone comics. Now that we have the popular stuff covered, let's get into the main topic of this video. When Milestone relaunched, there was some controversy surrounding an update made to the central event that gave most of the characters their abilities, the Big Bang. Originally, this event occurred during a gang war in Dakota City's ghetto, Paris Island. In the 90s, gang culture had a major influence on the American youth, so it made sense that the creators addressed that in the comics. The Dakota police raided the brawl and fired an experimental form of tear gas into the crowd. This gas killed 90% of those who came into contact with it. The ones who survived gained special abilities. In later issues, it is revealed that the mayor of Dakota gave the order to use the tear gas. Also, that during the raid the police bombed a bridge nearby, and that all the officers on Paris Island that night were actually agents of System, which is the main supervillain organization in the Dakotaverse. In issue 0 of the new Milestone universe, the creators, wanting to appeal to a modern audience, had the Big Bang occur at a Black Lives Matter protest. Again, an issue affecting the American youth, which Milestone is never afraid to tackle. Despite that, there were accusations of Milestone becoming too political and not in line with what the founders intended. This baffled me, specifically because of an interview DC Daily did with founder Dennis Cowan in 2020. In that interview, he revealed that when he and the late Dwayne McDuffie were developing the Big Bang, McDuffie based the event on a real case of police brutality that occurred in Philadelphia in the 80s, the Move bombing. The Move organization was a black radical group founded in 1972 by Korean War veteran John Africa. The group practiced vegetarianism and anarcho-primitivism with communal living, and also engaged in frequent protests against animal cruelty, racism, police brutality, and war. So they were basically a cross between the Black Panthers and the hippies. They were disliked by some Philadelphia residents and the PPD. The latter constantly harassed and arrested them, and also tried to get them evicted from their home. One such attempt at eviction in 1978 turned into a controversial shootout between the police and Move that left one officer dead under suspicious circumstances and led to 9 members of the group getting life sentences. The remaining Move members eventually moved to a row house on Philadelphia's Osage Avenue. On the morning of May 13, 1985, 500 members of the PPD showed up to the Move home to serve the members arrest warrants and evict them. The Move members, fearing for their lives, refused to exit their home. The police then decided to forcibly remove them with a combination of water cannons and tear gas. When that didn't work, the shooting started. The police fired 10,000 bullets in the space of 90 minutes into the building. When that didn't work, the police commissioner and the mayor decided that the best course of action was to use a police helicopter to drop a satchel of Tovex and C4 into the building. This caused a massive explosion and fire. The police commissioner then told the fire department to, quote, "let the fire burn," and it was over an hour before any attempts were made to put out the flames. It is alleged that those who tried to exit the burning building were shot at. More than 60 houses covering 2 city blocks were destroyed in the fire, leaving over 200 residents homeless. 11 MOVE members were killed, including 5 children. I will share a link if you're interested in what happened to the remains of those children. Only a woman and a child, Ramona and Birdie Africa, survived, suffering severe burns. Ramona Africa was sentenced to 7 years in prison on riot and conspiracy charges. No one from the city government was ever criminally charged for the bombing. The city of Philadelphia officially apologized for the incident in 2020, and that's history. There are of course parallels with the incident and the comics. The inordinate number of police, the use of tear gas, the use of a bomb, though not for the same purpose. The orders came from a black mayor from the Democratic Party. And finally, no one was charged for what happened. Art imitates life. Even comics art. Even Black lives. Thanks for watching and keep reading Milestone.